What is up, guys? So we're up. It's time to get a gym session in. Whew! Feels colder than 17 degrees, I can tell you that, people. Baltic. Right, guys, so we are back from the gym. Yeah, pretty intense session. Set me up for the day, most definitely. I'm pretty wrecked now, though, so yeah, we'll see how we get on today. So yeah, guys, I don't know if you, well, if you do train, get it done early in the morning. It does seem to set you up for the day. So if, wow, this top is super creased. Really need to learn how to iron. But yeah, start early, get it done early. I seem to have much more of a productive day if I can get training in early. It just gives you a head start on the day. So today was a little bit earlier than usual. I was out at the house by, I don't know what, I think it was like 10 to 6. So a little bit too early today. I'll probably peak midday and then just plummet after that. But we'll see. So yeah, usually, guys, start the day off with a gym session. Today I just did cardio and some weights. And then the first point of call when I get back, obviously after a quick shower, is student emails. So I work very closely with my students. So I'm going to hop over to my laptop now, as I do most mornings between sort of 8 and 11 a.m. and work with my students. So, you know, typically I receive emails sending me sort of product ideas. For example, if someone's just joined and they've put together a list of potential products they want to sell. So yeah, I'll have a look at those, validate any ideas, give product feedback based on lots of different factors. So we'll hop into that, and I'm going to share a little bit with you guys without giving too many details away. And then we're going to work through the day. I've got some different things that I'm doing today with regards to my FBA business. So I've just placed an order. So I've got a few things to do with regard to that. I'm just going to take you through the day, guys, and we'll just go with the flow. So yeah, we'll move over to the laptop. So first things first. This little guy needs feeding. If I didn't feed him, he would just pester me all day long, meowing and scratching and... Annie? Yeah, dinner time. Or breakfast time, what am I on about? Right, guys, so we're gonna hop onto the laptop to get stuck into student emails. This is where it all goes down. This is my life for the next 3 hours or so. So yeah, let's get to it. So that's pretty much all student emails done today. So what I'm going to do, guys, is pull some questions out of those emails that I believe will help you guys the most. So, you know, these emails are used, the course mentorship is used in lots of different ways, but one of the ways that students utilize this support system is by asking me questions about issues that they're having with, you know, whatever it is they're doing at the time. So one of the things, and I think probably the most important one of all that I want to share with you guys today, someone messaged me and asked me, how do you acquire the Amazon's Choice or bestseller tag? Now I'm going to focus on the bestseller tag because it's the hardest one to get. So to actually have that little badge, if we don't know what bestseller badge is, I'll put a little screenshot up on the screen. It's a little orange badge that you will get next to your product, next to the thumbnail when people are browsing through the search results. So in order to get the bestseller tag, you need to be, you know, funnily enough, you'd think so, you need to be the best seller or sell the most units over a very short space of time within a specific category. So what that means is it can change daily, right? I've seen sellers have the best sellers tag and an hour later it's gone, and then a few hours later it's come back. It does alternate quite a lot, but it is actually attained by having the most amount of sales in a category. So the way to get it is to get heaps of sales. So you're probably thinking, well, how do I get heaps of sales, Dill? So first thing to consider, a little trick, I suppose. Obviously, sales come with time. It's unlikely that you're going to get the best sellers tag straight away when you launch a product, but there are ways, one in particular that I'm going to look at, to maximize the chances of getting that tag. Now, obviously, an optimized listing, a solid PPC campaign, external traffic driven from Facebook ads or whatever other means that you're using, these are all things that go without saying, but one, and that is thinking very carefully about the category that you're listing your product in, and namely the subcategory. So basically, the smaller the category that you list your product in, or the smaller the subcategory, the easier it's going to be for you to attain the best sellers badge. Now that's because, if you were selling a product in a category with 200,000 other sellers, quite a big category, it's going to be harder for you to be number one out of 200,000 than if you were selling a product in a category with 1,000 sellers, where obviously we won in 1,000 of that total amount. So the size of the category matters. So what that means is you need to do a lot of research into your product and what, other than the main obvious category that everyone are going to list the product in, what may be some other related subcategories that you can list in. So for example, a supplement, if you were selling a creatine powder, you might have that in health and personal care and then creatine. Now there will be other ingredients in that tub, and you may choose, rather than listing under creatine as the main category or subcategory, you would list under some obscure ingredient that may be sort of some extra ingredient that's included with the creatine. And what that will mean is, when you get sales, because you're in such a small subcategory, which is still relevant to your product, it's much easier to get the best sellers tag. You will make a significant amount of sales, more than you would if you did not have that best sellers tag. So think about that. If you've already listed in a category, you can actually request to change it or change it manually yourself. So worth looking into that, right? It can literally, it can take a product from doing 2 units a day to 10 units a day, just having that best sellers tag. And sometimes it, just takes a little bit of smart thinking and no extra work really to position yourself within the market to give you a better chance of actually getting that badge yourself. So that was a question that I had today that I thought, well, share it with you guys and see if it's some help to you. So that was the first thing. Now, second thing that someone mentioned, I think this is the last thing I mentioned from the emails before we sort of move on throughout the day, and that was seasonality. So something that I always encourage students to check, you have to check this, is whether a product is evergreen, so it sells all year round, or it's seasonal. So, products that are selling over Christmas, like Christmas lights or, gardening gloves in the summer, are obviously going to do better at particular times of year. Now, when you are looking at figures, when you're doing your product research and you're seeing, products that are doing £4,000, £6,000 a month in revenue, you need to be sure that that product is not only doing well because it's in season. So, like the examples I mentioned. So I would suggest Helium 10 for this. Keeper used to offer a free tool where you could actually look at the sales rank, which is the BSR, which is an indication of how well a product is selling all year round. And it used to be free, but it's not anymore. But it is included in the Helium 10 Diamond plan. So, what that means is you can look back over the last year and see, has that product been selling consistently over the year? So if you were to look at Christmas lights in December, you would look back over the year and see, oh, well, actually, this product hasn't been doing well for 8 months, 9 months of the year. So that's something you need to know. You need to check that. That's like, number one on the list, or number two on the list. It's right up there at the top with one of the first things that you need to do to make sure you don't make a mistake with your product. So two emails I thought I'd share with you guys today. Right guys, so we are heading out. As I mentioned to you, something that did a little different today. So I'm going to collect a sample from the post office because I'm an idiot and I wasn't here when it was scheduled to arrive. So we're going down to pick that up. They've told me it's there, so I hope it is. It's not really a long drive to go down, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, brings me on to the topic, guys, right? So I always harp on about it. You probably think, shut up, Dale, you say this all the time. But samples are key. It's got to be done. You have to sample potential products before you buy them, just to test the quality, etc. So I'll be putting this product through its paces. I will be testing it out. I will be throwing it around the place, make sure that it's going to, stand the test of time when customers are buying it and doing whatever they do with it. So yeah, I only paid like $40 for this sample, including shipping, and they offered to deduct that from the price if I were to place a future order. Now this is separate to the order I've already placed, but with the same supplier. just a little tip for you guys, you can ask them to do that. So before you pay for the sample, just ask them if they would mind, if you were to pursue an order with them, could they deduct the cost of the sample from the order that you'll place? And they often agree, because they want your custom, basically. So we're gonna go and pick that up, and I'm gonna take it home, have a look at it, see what I think of the product. I'm not completely sure on it based on the photos, but they've assured me that it's pretty good, so we'll see. Now, as I mentioned to you guys as well, and I'm going to put a screenshot up somewhere, probably straight over my head because it's a big photo, of the order that I've just placed. So I've actually just placed an order for 7 new products, and I'm going 200 units of each product, so 1,400 units, and I believe it's about, I'm going to do the math in my head now. Well, you can see it on the screen, but it's 1,400 multiplied by about $8. So what are we? 11,000. I wish it was 1,000. 11,000 and something dollars for this order. So when I started 2 years ago, I could never have launched 7 at the same time. But as time goes on, it takes time. You accumulate capital in your bank, and you can then, you have the decision to scale at a faster rate than you do now. And this is all solely from my FBA account. Remember, this has been running for 2 years now. So funds do build up. Now, that was another thing. So cash flow is key, right? If I'd been spending loads of money non-stop the last 2 years from my FBA business, I would not be able to do this now, and I'd be thinking, shoot, I shouldn't have gone on that holiday last year, or I shouldn't have, done this or done that. So be mindful, be prudent, be frugal, think about the business before any personal stuff. So yeah, that order is due to arrive in about 4 weeks. I placed it about 3 weeks ago. I've got a 7-week lead time, which is a long time compared to most. I think average maybe like 4, but I suppose when you factor in shipping as well, it's not too far off. So we're going to get those products. They're from a new supplier, so that's different. Let's hope that she lives up to my expectations based on what she said. She seems really, really good. So we're gonna, they're all gonna be launching at about the beginning of August time, if all goes to plan, with enough time to sell out and repurchase if they do well in time for Christmas. So yeah, lots going on. As I mentioned to you guys, I have a lot of balance, I don't have much balance between, my FBA business and my course side of things. I would say sort of 90%, 95% course related work, and then 5% Amazon FBA. To place this order, I did because I know what I'm going for. It didn't take me a huge amount of time. It was sort of just the pain of speaking to the suppliers and sort of trying to work out which was the one to go for, and obviously samples and things helped with that over the last few weeks. But yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Now these products, I work on a 40 to 45% margin at the moment, but because I'm launching 4 new products, it will not be that high. Typically, it's not that high anyway, but my products are quite good with regard to having high margins. But you should expect your margins to be eaten into by PPC, any one-off cost like imagery, etc. That when you're starting off, if you're doing Facebook ads, obviously that's a cost as well. But you're always going to have your margins squeezed at the beginning. But it's not all about your first order making you loads of money. It's about ranking. If you can position yourself with a healthy organic ranking after your first order and not go out of stock, then you've done extremely well and it will pay off. So my margins are going to be falling about 20% rather than 40 to 45 because of my PPC spend. And also when I launch a product, I do tend to reduce the price. It's just part of, or one of the ways that you can drive your sales velocity and increase your sales over a short period of time when you launch to help you rank, as my students would know. And all these things need to be factored in. So margins are key. Work out your margins way before you've sampled a product. Work out your margins, factoring in all these things that you need to consider to make sure that it is a viable product idea. So yeah, we're going to go and pick that up now. It's like 3:30, so I'm probably going to get another clip in when I get back. We'll see how we get on. So yeah, off we go. So the day is over. Managed to get a second run in the end somehow. to dig deep for that one, but we got it done. So yeah, the samples were good, picked those up, and I am going to be testing them over the next sort of week or two. So other than that, there aren't many more updates for today. The order that I've placed, I'm just waiting for it to be shipped. So I had some communication with my supplier today to basically make sure that they're packaged securely. As I mentioned to you guys before, the issues I had with packaging, and gave you a few tips on you know, actually the proper channels to follow to make sure you don't get damaged goods when they arrive. But other than that, it's been a super productive day. I'm now going to amend a few course lectures and make some updates to the course and do some funnel work. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog, lifestyle vlog. Comment below, like the video, always appreciate it, and recognize people who you know, who make the effort to do that. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.